years ago at Christmas, I insanely decided to host my entire family, all of my in-laws, at my house for Christmas. Interestingly enough, I was 8 months pregnant with our first child, and we had just moved into the home 3 weeks prior. I don't really know what I was thinking, but we had menus made, we had done all the grocery shopping, taking into account everyone's personal preferences for vegetarian items, non-dairy free, whatever. We had phone chargers in every room, we had extra blankets, I had bought new towels, comforters, pillows. We are totally prepared for Christmas. Then it comes to my attention that the house is critically low on toilet paper. So my husband pulls out his phone, he opens the Amazon app, and he orders a 12-pack of Charmin. To which my father-in-law freaks out and is like, "What are you doing? Just get in the car, drive to the store, get the toilet paper, bring it back." To which my husband says, "I have a super pregnant wife. You all are at my house. It's Christmas Eve. It's cold, and I don't want to. And this app can get me what I need immediately." So it just impressed upon me the new reality of this world that we're living in, right? So Amazon has changed our world. They've changed the speed in which products move. They have changed the expectations for customers. So today's focus is all about how that Amazon effect has even impacted us in recruitment. So how many of you all have been to the Container Store? Yeah, oh my gosh. Thank you for keeping us in business. So if you're the 2 people that didn't raise your hand, we are a 40-year-old brick and mortar retailer. We started here in Dallas, also in 1978. Interesting idea also started in that year. I think it must have been a good year for companies. Our purpose is to help our customers accomplish their projects, maximize their space, and make the most of their home. So we have about 10,000 different products: bins, boxes, pantry organizers, luggage, custom closets. We are all about saving you time and saving you space. So to give you a brief history, Kip Tyndall is one of our founders, and if you asked him about the foundation of the company, he'd say, "We are joyful about being a solutions-based retailer, not an items-based retailer. We are all about solving your problems, like your kids' toys are overflowing or you can't get that car in the garage. We're here to save you time and save you space. Of all the commodities in life, time is the most precious." So we collected the most unusual collection of items ever sold. These are industrial and commercial products, like a metal leaf burning basket sold as a container for kids' pool toys. This idea of saving time and saving space caught on. That first store in Dallas did well, so we opened a second, and a third, and a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth. And our 7th store we opened in Houston, Texas. Is anyone here from the Houston area? All right. So Post Oak and Westheimer, these are big major streets, right? We waited 7 years to get on that corner because it's a really, really great location. As you all in the architecture world know, location, 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 right? We had waited a long time to get just the right spot so we could hit our target customer. So we opened this store in Houston after waiting 7 years. We knew it would do well, but we had no idea the massive crowds that would show up once we opened. The aisles were jammed, there were long checkout lines and empty shelves. Sales skyrocketed 3 to 4 times what we had expected. Our store manager, Amy, who is here popping champagne, she's one of our vice presidents now. She had to triple her staff overnight. She just couldn't get enough people. We couldn't keep the shelves stocked, which irritated customers. Employees weren't trained, which meant we had terrible customer service. Our employees had no idea our unique approach to selling, our culture, or our values. So Amy is freaking out. So Amy calls Kip, our founder, and says, "Kip, help, what do I do?" He says, "Amy, what is your number 1 priority?" serving our customers? No. Making a profit? No. What do you want me to say? He said, your number one priority is managing the values and the attitudes of the people who work for you. Your number one priority is managing the values and the attitudes of the people who work for you. So to do that, Amy said, okay, Kip, come down to Houston and tell these people that. So she gathered all the employees in her living room that night. Kip came down, and he brought with him a box. This box had quotes and letters and articles that he had collected over his entire life, of notes that inspired him. So he got to Houston, and he went in her living room and talked to all of these employees sitting on her floor, and he read these notes out loud. He said things like, anyone lucky enough to be someone's employer has a moral obligation to make sure those employees look forward to getting out of bed in the morning. He also said things like, if you take care of your employees better than anybody else, they will take care of your customers. If you take care of your employees better than anybody else, they will take care of your customers. So that night, after Kip had nervously shared all of these ideas, the employees cheered. They clapped him on the back and they said, thank you. Thank you for finally articulating what this company is all about. Kip likes to think of that as the night our culture was really born, because for that first time, he articulated everything that we've been built on. These ideas turned into what we now call our foundation principles. They are the foundation of our company, and they center around how we treat others. It's the foundation of our business. So now that you've got a little bit of the history of the company, I'd love to talk more about the state of talent. So what is happening in our world today? What's happening in our firms today as it regards to talent? So this is a really, really fascinating graph made by the Bureau of Labor Statistics of the last, they need you guys to work on their graphs. So this is the last 10 years of the national unemployment rate in the United States. I'm not a statistician, math person, but like, thank you, vulnerability there. So you can definitely see a sharp decline in the unemployment rate in the United States. We're hovering around 3.9% right now. What this means is there is about 6 million open jobs in the US today and 6.4 million job seekers. So there's a delta there, right? For the first time since 1968, there are more open jobs than there are people looking for those jobs. I see some heads nodding like, yes, scary, right? So more jobs than people, massive shift. Things are changing. The same things that we've been doing are not working anymore in the talent acquisition space. And I heard a crazy story this weekend that average American will have 10 to 14 jobs by the time they're 38. Yeah, crazy. So there's a lot of movement in this job market. Even the idea of work is shifting. So when we think about like, we're gonna recruit college grads from this amazing place, not even every single college grad is available to us because they're choosing different routes. They're not all wanting to come to a company like Granite, to a company like the Container Store. They're taking alternative paths, and I'll give you some examples of what that looks like. So on the left here is an entrepreneur. This is Sarah. Sarah, during college, started her own part-time gig. She does hand lettering and calligraphy for wedding invitations and custom prints. After graduating from college, she started this business full-time and now employs 3 people. Sarah is an entrepreneur. She never wanted to come work for a company like mine. On the right is John. John taught himself how to play guitar when he was 16. He loves playing in the gig economy. You may be familiar with the gig economy if you've ever used Instacart or Rover or DoorDash or Favor. So these are jobs that are paid per gig. There's no long-term contract, no long-term commitment. Uber and Lyft are really great examples of the gig economy. So lots of people are choosing to go down that path as well. So not even every single person coming out of college or person in the workforce is interested in going into a full-time corporate environment, say like ours. Some people are pulling off into the entrepreneurial space, some people are moving into the gig economy. So I tell you this just because that pool of applicants we typically think about may not all be available to us. I also tell you this because Sarah and John are my sister and brother. Very, very proud of them. So, they could have come into the traditional 8-to-5 workplace, but are following their passion and doing something different. So the same tactics aren't working anymore. There's no more post and pray. This was the idea that we would put a job out there, millions of people would apply for it, we'd whittle it down, we'd pick a person. That's not working anymore. Because of so many opportunities, candidates have choices, and sometimes they pick the first option that's out there. So that candidate shelf life has been shortened. We have to get to candidates even faster than we've gotten to them before. So, quick question, anybody can just shout it out. What do you think is most important to job seekers today? Culture, I heard that. That was a really good answer. What else? Flexibility, benefits, money, autonomy. Okay, purpose, super good, super good. So this is a study done by JobVite called their Job Seeker Nation study. And really what impressed me about this is the consistency in benefits and comp. Job seekers today have the expectation that you will provide them healthcare, 401k match, maybe even bonuses. One of the great things is your company probably provides some of these things already, right? Like how many of you automatically provide healthcare to every employee? Awesome, medical, dental, vision, super. How about 401k programs? Super. Let's talk about casual dress code. You guys look super awesome today, but casual dress code is an option. Parental leave, this could be maternity leave. Growing, even in the retail space, is paternity leave. We're starting to see CVS and Target and Amazon offer those benefits to males as well, and adoption benefits. Education subsidy, do you guys have tuition reimbursement programs? Super, super awesome. And then how many of you have that option to work remotely for your employees? Awesome. So you are already providing really amazing benefits, which is not just an expectation, but a desire and super, super important in this world that we're working in today. So this is where you come in too, as marketers. If I tried to put all of our benefits in a PowerPoint, or if I tried to open InDesign, it would not look like this. So this was a partnership between our marketing department, our benefits department, and our HR recruiting department. HR and recruiting said, benefits are super important to job seekers. Our benefits team said, okay, here's the difference between a 401k and a 401k match. And then our marketing team made it look gorgeous. So this is one example of all of those teams coming together in partnership to make sure we have an on-brand benefits guide that we share with every prospective employee. So with low unemployment, decreasing numbers of people in traditional jobs, job seekers have lots of options and they want great benefits. So this is the reality of today's job market. So what? So what are we as marketers supposed to do about it? It's everyone's job to fight in this war for talent. This isn't just HR's job. It's important to participate in the conversation because it matters who you work with. It matters the quality of talent in your firm. Talented, smart people win more work, do more with less, and frankly are more fun to be around. So here are a few things that you all can do to help fight in this war for talent, in this rapidly changing, Amazon-affected world. We're gonna talk about having a brand that resonates with job seekers. We're gonna talk about crafting and delivering an amazing candidate experience by breathlessly communicating and streamlining your process. We're gonna talk about using our weapons, like listening, going to our customers, and utilizing social media. And we're gonna talk about retaining our warriors by recognizing them, surprising them, and thanking them for the work that they do every day. Cool? All right, let's go. Rachel? Super, so we're gonna do a visualization exercise. What that means is you'll close your eyes or look at a spot on the floor. We're gonna take a deep breath, put your feet on the floor, get comfortable. All right, okay, so close your eyes, find your spot, and I want you to visualize all of the people in your organization who touch the hiring process. I want you to see the face of the hiring manager who needs this person. Maybe it's you. I want you to envision HR who approved the hire. I want you to think about the compensation team who aligned the salary band. Think about the people in the interview loop, each of whom was engaging and didn't look at their phone throughout the interview. I want you to think about the marketer on your team who wrote great copy for the career site and the job description. I want you to think about the hiring manager who spent a little time explaining their vision of the team and how it will impact the business. Now think about the recruiting coordinator whose tour of the office was actually pretty detailed. And finally, think about the receptionist who is sitting at your front desk right now, greeting a candidate with a smiling face. They all have to be aligned in a common vision of the brand and the company and the candidate experience. It's too much to assume hiring is HR's responsibility because everyone plays a part. Okay, you can open your eyes. So investing in talent starts with embracing the idea that hiring is everyone's job. So at the Container Store, we only have 3 recruiters in a company of 4,000 people. There's no way my team could handle all of the hiring that we need to do. It is absolutely a total team effort. So without that team effort woven into this entire employer brand concept, there's no way we could have done it. So I want to give you another example of great partnership. We have a new brand campaign that launched recently. It's all about maximizing your space. So we capitalized on that theme. So all of our super cute commercials now are all about maximizing space, going into deep space, creating space. The recruiting team got a call a few weeks ago from our Denver location who's moving, basically just moving down the street to a better location. And they said, oh, we've got some hiring needs. We're moving into this space. We've still got a merchandise product from the old store. Can you help us? We need to kind of advertise that our hiring needs are getting bigger. So we said, sure. Again, if Rachel had created this, it would look like a 5-year-old's drawing. But we talked to our marketing department, and again, they said, you know what? This is a great opportunity to capitalize on this new brand campaign about maximizing space. So that's where they came in with the title of hiring for our new space. This is also where recruiting said, okay, we know how important benefits are. Let's partner and let's just give a super high level benefits overview for our retail part-time employees. So we listed that out. We've got a cute logo, our image, and that's that. So this was just a really super quick partnership, but it really came out beautifully, incorporating our consumer brand as well as what's really important to job seekers. So we want our employer brand to support our corporate brand. And again, it's not just recruiting's job to recruit, it's not just marketing's job to market, it's a total partnership. So now that we're in agreement, hiring talent is everybody's job. Let's talk about your employer brand. Your employer brand is defined as your company's reputation, both inside and outside the organization. Amazon's employer brand, for example, is We Pioneer. So they find pioneers. not necessarily people who work just 8 to 5. They are pioneering, really metrics driven, pushing the envelope to support their consumer brand. A candidate is a bird, and your employer brand is a bird's nest. A bird's nest is made up of whatever birds find flying around, so twigs and leaves and sticks and feathers. So to change the nest, you have to change what's around the bird. Your job is to ensure all those pieces you can control around the bird are good. Control what you can. So as our company is growing, we're increasing our omni-channel presence, so we are shipping out a lot more products than we ever have before. You know, when I was talking about those 7 foundation principles, the really colorful blocks at the beginning, those are really the core values of our company. And so we put that on our packing tape. So our packing tape goes around these boxes, going out to our customers all across the country, and they're learning about our culture. They're learning about our values just by opening that box. Another cool story, Amy Carvellano, the one I talked about earlier, who opened that Houston store, she actually was, again, later sitting in the Love Field Airport. This is way TSA pre-check, 1992, and she notices a woman arguing with a flight attendant at the gate. The woman's obviously frustrated, comes out to the gate, looks around, sees Amy, locks in on her, approaches her, and asked if she could help. She said, "My husband is on the other side of this flight. He left his wallet here in Dallas. Could you bring it to him? He can't rent a car without it." Amy says, "Sure, I'll be happy to take the wallet to him on the other side of this flight." "Can I ask you a question? Why did you ask me?" She said, "Because you're wearing the Container Store logo, and I knew that I could trust you." So just by wearing a Container Store branded shirt in an airport while traveling, great branding exercise, everything you do and everything you don't do makes an impact. Every one of your employees is a fantastic brand ambassador for your firm. So talk about vulnerability. I totally stole this from a book called Employer Branding for Dummies. But I think it really, really simply explains that there is this partnership between marketing and HR, and that's where your employer brand strategy should sit. Just a few examples of that partnership. You know, I talked about the We're Moving flyer. This is where alignment on colors, brand, tone, voice, your company Glassdoor page, your company LinkedIn page. We have a business solutions department that's kind of emerging. We had a SMU say, "Hey, we need 100 trash cans." We're like, we don't carry 100 of the same trash cans in our North Park store. So we got to cobble together 100 trash cans. And then they kind of came back and said, "Well, we'd like 200 pencil holders and 400 sets of hangers." And it was like, we just don't carry that much in our stores. And so we started this business-to-business arm. And so it was like, well, now we need a business-to-business presence. If we're going to do this, we got to let people know we're doing it. So we created a LinkedIn business-to-business page. Well, the marketers came over to me and they're like, "So what's the deal with LinkedIn? Like, how do we use it?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll tell you how to use it, but like, what are you trying to say?" And so it's this partnership, this going back of like, I can tell you a little bit about LinkedIn and how important it is, and you guys can tell me the branding strategy, the type of content that's gonna resonate with that audience, the copy, all of that is a great partnership that sits right here in the middle. So this is actually a photo. We do our interviews in our stores. So this is sitting in the office section in our best-selling, award-winning Bundy chairs during a normal operating day. So customers are walking around, and we do that just so that potential employees understand what it's really like to work in our stores. If we were to go back in a break room, it would be quiet. It wouldn't be noisy. There would not be customers walking around, but they wouldn't really know what it was like being in a store during the busiest point of the day. So that's when we hold interviews. The same thing happens in our distribution center. So people are actually walking up and down the aisles. There are massive pickers and pullers going to get merchandise, moving it around. You hear the beeping. You feel the non-climate controlled environment. So all of this is happening, so there are no surprises in our interview process. We try to think about that with our customers too, right? Your clients should not experience any surprises during their journey with your firm. So we also believe that communicating breathlessly is incredibly important. One of those foundation principles is called communication is leadership. That means we get off our chairs and we walk down the hall and we talk to people, or we leave a voicemail, or we pick up the phone. So we really try not to be a super email-centric workplace. We believe in that communication. Anyone who could benefit from this information, we will send it to. So same with our candidates. We get 36,000 applications a year, and we respond to 36,000 applications a year. There are a lot of automated emails, yes, but we believe in the importance of communicating, letting candidates know where they're at in the process. I had a guy whose background check was pending in this one county for 14 days, which is terribly long time to wait for an offer. But every day I called him and I just said, hey, just wanted to check in. How was your day? Letting him know we're still thinking about him. We haven't dropped him. We're not ghosting anybody. It's important to continue that communication. I know you guys do that with your clients as well. We really just believe communication is leadership, and that candidate experience often mirrors the client experience, right? So candidates are informed. They're doing research to build that nest. They pick up on your employer brand. They are looking at Glassdoor. They are talking to current employees. They see your tower crane. They're investigating and comparing you against all of those other options, and ultimately they're making a decision, pushing the apply button, picking up the phone, coming in for the interview. Is this what happens on the client journey too? So they're informed, they do research, they're looking at you, at your brand, of what they know about your company. They're comparing your firm against all the other options that are out there, and ultimately making a decision. So I'll tell you a story. We opened a Livingston, New Jersey store last year. Typically we'll hire 40 employees. They all start on the same day. They go through 6 weeks of training, and then they open the store. We got about 10 days out from that hire day, and we realized we weren't there. We weren't even halfway there. We did not hire quickly enough, and it's because of this super competitive environment. It also made us realize we didn't really have any kind of structure or framework on our timeline to hire. So we really started thinking about how do we support our stores and give them some sort of structure to layer on pieces in the process, to move candidates faster, to close on them, to open our store on time. So this is what we call 10 days to hire. Initially what was happening is we'd get an application, wait a few days, set up a phone screen, 2 days later we'd phone screen, 3 days later, we'd set up a personal interview. I mean, this stretched on. But remember when I was talking about this super low unemployment rate and how competitive it is? We were not moving fast enough. So we started layering on these parts of the process, not throwing any part out, but just giving our guidelines to move quicker so that candidates heard from us faster and could move forward more quickly. You know, Amazon has done this too, right? They have delivered products faster than anybody ever expected before. If I now have to pay for shipping, or if anything shows up later than 2 days on my doorstep, it is not a good day in my household. So this expectation is that processes are going faster. And I think this probably works in the client world too, right? I mean, someone's like, I would love a bank. The sooner we have it built, the sooner we can start taking money. So nobody wants to go through long, elongated processes. We want to move quickly and speedily through whatever processes we have to go through. So I just really think this joke is funny. So we'll talk quickly about using your weapons. So we'll talk about this tool, this weapon of listening. This weapon of utilizing social media, which is one of my passions, and of personalization. So talk about listening to your customer. Has anybody heard of the man Ron Shaich? So Ron Shaich started a company called Au Bon Pain, and they sell really beautiful, amazing like croissants and baguettes. And Ron was working in their Boston store, and he noticed that people were coming in at lunchtime, and they were bringing in bags of cheese and roast beef, and they're like, could I have the baguette, but could you slice it? Ron's like, sure, and they'd kind of like put the cheese and the meat on, and then they'd go eat their sandwich. Well, this happened over and over, and finally he's like, what are you doing? And they're like, well, it's just lunchtime. I came, you have really great bread. You know, I went to the grocery store, got my meat and cheese, and I'm making a sandwich. Ron's like, why are they doing that? And can I do something better? So Ron listened to his customer and went on to start Panera Bread. So you may know Panera as a great place to go for sandwiches. You don't bring your own meat and cheese, right? So Ron was listening to his customer. In the same way, I went to San Antonio, where my family is. I tweaked my neck, had a really bad neck injury, went to go get a massage. They were like, we're so excited you're here. We'll customize your experience. You can change the temperature of the table, the music, the lighting. This is a customized experience. It's going to be great. I get in there, and the masseuse, like 5 minutes in, is like, hey, you know, we have a really great special going on. Once a month, you can come in for X amount of dollars and get this monthly deal ongoing. And I was like, you know, I live in Dallas. I don't live in San Antonio. I'm not interested. And he's like, well, how often do you come to San Antonio? I was like, well, maybe twice a year. He's like, well, what if you came like every 30 days? Then you could participate in this really great deal. And I thought, you know, I filled out this form with my address. I told you once I live in Dallas. I told you twice I'm not interested. And here we are 3 times later, and you're still not listening to me. You know, so sometimes people don't listen, even though you really want them to. Our customers come in, and we realize that they are busy people. They want to come in, and they want to get their product, and they want to get home. They don't have hours and hours and hours to spend in our store, even though you're welcome to if you want to. So we started this thing called Click and Pick Up, where you can put in your order online, drive up to our store, let us know you're here, we'll walk your product out to your car, put it in your trunk, sign electronically, and drive away. So Click and Pick Up was a response to listening to our customers when we knew they wanted to come in and get out quickly. We also started listening and hearing them say, I don't really know how to start on my junk drawer. My pantry is got cans in it from 2009. So I don't know how to start with this, right? So we were like, okay, how can we help our customers do it themselves? So we started these DIY videos, super short, they're online, but they're also in our stores via touchscreen. So this is something that we were listening to our customers who needed a quick solution that was very effective to get in and get out and make the most of their home. So listening to your customer is always critical. One of my passions is social media. We are only in 92 locations around the country. We are really trying to figure out how do we go to our customers. One, we started a program called Contained Home, where there are professional organizers who can come into your space, remake your office into a nursery, remake your child's bedroom who's going off to college into a guest room, redo your pantry, redo your office. So our employees are physically coming into your space to organize and maximize your home. We also have a fantastic call center that you can chat, you can call, you can email, and they will design a closet online for you. So this is how we are actually going to our customer. In the same way, Amazon, when they purchase Whole Foods, they really purchase 411 distribution centers and locations closer to their customer, right? So going to your customer is incredibly important. In the same way, to attract top talent, we have to go to them. This whole post and pray, waiting for people to come to us thing, it's not working anymore. So we have to be in front of them in our stores, online, in social media, everywhere. So one of the things we did was we partnered with our marketing team they had a great vendor who helped us create Facebook ads. We are hiring for retail employees in those 92 locations. And so we did a geo-targeted Facebook ad that was on brand so that we could have a pop-up when everybody is on Facebook coming to them that's personalized with a message to click here and apply with us. So that was one example of utilizing social media for our Facebook campaign. A really, really cool thing we did last year was we rolled out Networking 101, Social Media 101, and LinkedIn 101 training for all of our associates. What came out of that moves me every day. I log into LinkedIn and I cannot not see a post by one of our employees telling an amazing story. I realize these are small, but I'll give you the highlights. On the left here is Amanda. Amanda is our general manager in our Bellevue store. Amanda went on maternity leave and then posted this one of her first days back at the store. She said, "It's my first week back from maternity leave. Though it's tough to leave my little girl, I'm so excited to get back to the smiling faces of my team. This amazing group of leaders did an incredible job taking care of the store and each other. I'm so grateful and blessed to work side by side with their immense talent and great attitudes." So what do you get from this? We probably have a maternity leave policy. We hire amazing people, and like maybe you want to go work for us because it looks like they're all smiling. That's so awesome. This was not a corporate-driven motive. This is totally organic from our employees who are just bubbling up with their enthusiasm for the company, and this is impacting our employer brand massively. On the right here is an employee, a really sweet story. She actually was pregnant, helping a customer design their closet. The customer obviously saw she was pregnant, knitted her a sweater for the baby, came back in the store and gave it to her. Their store manager took this photo and then posted this on LinkedIn and basically said, "It is such a joy working in an environment that actually improves people's lives, where we're fulfilled by the work that we do." I mean, that is a really, really powerful employer brand message. So social media can be a super, super important tool in influencing your employer brand, and also can be a great partnership between marketing and HR. So our business model is created on custom solutions for our clients' problems. If you walk into the Container Store and you're like, "Hey, where's the closet department?" Someone will probably say, what are you trying to organize today? How many shoes do you have? Are they men's shoes, women's shoes, or children's shoes? Are you looking for a floor-based solution or a hanging solution? Do you have more vertical space or do you have more horizontal space? So we are asking personal questions to give you the right solution for you. We're not a place where you just get a boxed solution. No pun intended. We create custom solutions for our customers. So when we talk with our customers, we know different messages resonate. So like when I'm talking to candidates, I know that sometimes more tenured candidates are a little more interested in the 401k, college grads a little less so, but they are more interested in flexibility or the dress code. So I try to personalize my messaging to whoever I'm talking to, and you guys do this too. When employees come in for onboarding, meaning they've already been hired but they haven't started yet, we give them a tour of the office. We give them a box with their name on it. The box is full of swag. I know we talked about personal branded items. It's got their name on it, their t-shirt size, already ready to go. We've got their desk. We measure them for their desk. If they want a standing desk or a sitting desk, we'll get that ready so that on day one, everything is ready to go and totally personalized just for them. Because I think at the end of the day, people still want to work at a place where everybody knows their name. I hear the Cheers song in my head. Something cool, I just learned the PGA Tour Superstore will, you can sign up for text alerts, give them your favorite player. So if it's Ricky Fowler, you get a text when Ricky Fowler is in your vicinity signing autographs at the PGA Superstore. Like, that's knowing your customer, right? So we can do this too in personalizing for our clients. I just wanted to kind of talk through this last piece of the importance of retaining your warriors. Anybody have ideas on why people leave companies? Wow, bad managers is definitely hearing what I'm hearing here. I went to a conference 2 weeks ago, and they said the number one reason why people leave companies is role stagnation, lack of growth. Number 2 is culture, and number 3 is comp and benefits. So if you keep your people in the first place, you don't have to re-recruit them, right? So this idea of retention is incredibly important. The importance of recognizing your people, delighting and surprising them, and thanking them at the end of the day. I think I may just kind of move quickly through this piece, but thinking about how your firm recognizes your warriors. Some firms really focus on performance-based recognition. Some really focus on service-based recognition. We certainly try to do both. We have this service wall in our corporate office. It's on the way to the cafeteria, so you really cannot miss it. This has pictures of every employee who's been with the company 10, 15, 20, 25 plus years in our stores, in our distribution center, and in our home office. My joke is like, take a really good picture on your first day because it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. So this is one way that we try to make some of those anniversaries special, and then it resonates with the rest of our employees every day. This is a surprise and delight. We do a few things to surprise and delight our customers. You may not know, but our stores are dog friendly. You may not know that we open our doors 5 minutes earlier than we say we do, just in case you show up. Come on in. We had a manager in our call center just make milk and cookies, walk them around. So we try to have this kind of spontaneous, fun, surprise and delight for our people to thank them every day. Our distribution center is here in Dallas. It's a 1.1 million square foot unair conditioned facility. It's full of manual pickers and pullers, choosing merchandise, packaging them up, sending them to our stores, and sending them to our customers. It's hot in the summer, it's cool in the winter, it's repetitive, but our average tenure in the distribution center is 7 years. We had an employee in our distribution center write this. I got a thank you note from one of my managers. I took that home to show my sons. I'm used to getting a birthday card, but never a thank you card, not for something that pertained to stuff I'd actually done. I was like, wow, these guys notice, these guys care. I told my sons, this is my last job. I'm gonna retire from here. So why would he stay in that environment so long? Because he felt appreciated, because his birthday was celebrated, he got a thank you note, he was developed into a bigger employee than he was before. So this is why recognition is so important and actually does contribute to the bottom line. So it's tough to hire great people into our firms, but it's everyone's job to fight in this war for talent. It's important to participate in the conversation because it matters who you work with. It matters the quality of talent in your firm. Talented, smart people win more work, do more with less, and are more fun to be around. So in order to win the war for talent, we will all do these 4 things. Have a strong brand that resonates, craft and deliver an amazing candidate experience by breathlessly communicating and streamlining our processes. We'll use our weapons like listening, personalization, and social media, and we will retain our warriors by recognizing and surprising and thanking them for the work they do every day. Because it's an obligation as somebody's employer to make sure they look forward to getting out of bed in the morning. It's a responsibility to manage the values and the attitudes of the people who work for you. And it's important because if you take care of your employees better than anybody else, they will take care of your customers. All right. So, thank you.